Hi guys! Welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's your math tutor, Michaela, Allyson, Calzo from ABM 11 YA-7 of Our Lady Fatima University. Our topic of the day is correlation. Ano nga ba ang correlation? Correlation is a linear association between two random variables. Correlation analysis involves determining both the nature and strength of relationship between two variables. Correlation lies between +1 to -1. It gives information about the magnitude of the association or correlation as well as the direction of the relationships. Pearson's correlation. Coefficient is the test statistics that measure the statistical relationship or association between two continuous variables. A Pearson's correlation is used when there are two quantitative variables. The possible research hypotheses are that there is a positive linear relationship between the variables, a negative linear relationship between the variables, or no linear relationship between the variables. What are the three types of correlation? The three types of correlation is positive correlation, negative correlation, and no correlation. Positive correlation is the points that lie close to a straight line, while the negative correlation is the points that lie close to a straight line which has a negative gradient. And lastly, the no correlation. There is no pattern to the points. And here is the formula of correlation where the x is the independent variable and the y is the dependent variable and the n is the sample size. Here is the interpretation of correlation. Here is our first example. Researchers want to determine the relationship between a person's age and the hours spent in running per week. Para sa example number 1, ita-times natin ang x and y. Pagkatapos nating i-times, gagawin naman natin ay x squared. Next naman, nakukuhain natin ay ang y squared. Tapos, ipapag-plus natin lahat ng tables. So, after pag-plus, gagayahin na natin yung formula at susulat na lahat. So, ang una nating i-compute ay yung nasa taas, yung numerator. So, pwede natin siyang i-one-liner or pwede nyo ring isa-isahin muna, tapos tsaka na ipag-minus. So, ang total is negative 738. And next, yung denominator naman. Sa denominator, magkahiwalay siya para sure mo talaga yung answer. So sa x part, ang nakuha natin ay 47.12. At sa y part naman ay 15.87. So, ito times lang natin silang dalawa para makuha yung pinaka-answer sa denominator. So, ang answer ay 747.79. So, i-divide na natin silang dalawa at ang kinalabasan ay 0.99. So, it is very high positive-negative correlation. Number 2 example, the supervisor of a company wants to know how many employees and the number of sick leaves they file in a year. Parehas lang sa naunang example, ipagta-times muna yung x and y. Next naman ay ang x squared. Next na kukuhaan naman ay ang y squared. After pag-times lahat, ipagpa-plus naman bawat tables. So, sa x is 178. Sa y naman ay 72. Sa xy naman ay 1,610. Sa total naman ng x squared ay 5,144. And lastly, sa y squared naman ay 820. So, gagayahin na ulit natin yung formula. So, para sa numerator, pwede natin siyang i-one-liner sa calculator para mas madali. Next naman ay sa x part. So, ang total ay 65.76 At ita-times natin siya sa y part. Na ang equal ay 23.58. So after times ng denominator, i-divide naman natin siya sa numerator. At ang total ay 1.00. So it is very high positive and negative correlation. Para sa ating example 3, accounting student wanted to look between his transportation fee and how much is reduced through budgeting of accounting student. Is there a correlation between transportation fee and a knowledge about budgeting? Ito na ang compute number bawat tables. So, ipagpa-plus na lang natin silang lahat. After pag-plus, susulat na natin ng formula at gagayahin na uli natin. So, same lang din sa recent example. I-one-liner lang natin tong numerator and next naman yung denominator. So, after mo-compute ng x and y, ipagta-times na natin sila. And after that, i-divide na natin yung numerator and denominator. At ang total ay 0.38, which is little or very low positive or negative correlation. Now, let's have an activity for you to answer. For activity number 1, researchers want to determine the relationship between a person's age and how many times a week they drink coffee. Para sa activity 1, ganun lang din, ipagta-times ang x and y After that, yung x squared naman. And lastly, yung y squared. Sunod ay ipagpa-plus bawat table. At isusulat na uli natin yung formula. So, mauna yung sample size, then yung total ng xy minus total ng x, and then yung y, and then sa denominator, square root and sample size, then total ng x squared and ng x. Sa sunod naman sa y part, square root uli and sample size, total ng x squared, and then yung total ng y. So, one-liner lang natin sa calculator uli yung numerator. And ito total na natin siya. So, ang total ay 680. And then, uunahin natin yung x part. Sunod naman yung y part. At ita-times natin sila sa isa't isa para makuha yung total sa denominator natin. So, 680 divided by 1099.8 equals 0.61. So, siya ay moderate positive-negative correlation. For activity 2, the researchers want to know between the total number of student age and the reviewing hours of spent in a week. So, for activity 2, nandito na yung total ng bawat table and i-add na lang natin sila. So, after total, isusulat na ulit natin yung formula. And as always, uunahin natin yung numerator at one-liner lang natin siya. Next ay ang x part. Then, ito times siya sa y part. So, 22.58 times 15.62. So, i-divide na natin silang dalawa. 351 divided by 352.70 equals 1.00. So, isa siyang very high positive-negative correlation. And for our last activity, determine the correlation between the hours they spent in a days of exercising in a week. So, nakatotal na bawat table. I-compute na lang natin sila. And then, i-write down na natin yung formula uli. So, sample size, open parenthesis, total ng xy minus open parenthesis, total ng x and total ng y. And sa denominator naman, square root, sample size, open parenthesis, total ng x squared, and then yung x, then sunod sa y part ay total ng y squared, and then yung total ng y. So, uunahin natin uli i-compute yung numerator, and then sunod, yung sa denominator naman, ang unahin natin ay yung x part, at ita-times natin siya sa total ng y part. And then, ipagta-times natin yung denominator. Tapos, pag nakuha na yung total sa denominator, i-divide na natin siya sa numerator. And then, i-divide na natin siya. So, 310.48 divided by 315. At ang total niya ay 0.99. So, very high positive and negative correlation. So, ang ating math quote of the day is from Andrew Wills, English mathematician. Says, just because we can't find a solution, it doesn't mean there isn't one. So I hope you all learn about our topic for today. We'll see each other next time. Bye!